Welcome to another awesome video brought to you by Chrome Rooster Productions.
Yeah, how y'all doing? So, today we're going to talk about some of my craziest moments meeting friends and subscribers on the road. You know, we've all had our, friend meetups. You know, most of them are planned. You got one of you and one of your buddies, and they're like, realize, hey, I'm headed this way, you're headed that way, we're gonna, let's meet up at this truck stop, and have lunch and stuff, and all that. But every once in a while, at least for me, there have been some more unconventional surprise meetups that I've had with people. Being that, I first started on YouTube, back about 9-10 years ago there, when all of us truckers finally got on the internet and got going. Me and Steve and Two Times and Jeff and all them guys that were kind of like the trucking YouTube pioneers of the day. So I had quite a following, I was no Trucker Steve or Trucker Two Times, like those guys were right off the bat, they were doing like some serious stuff and educational from trying to help new drivers and all that, and I was just kind of the goof off guy. But I have, my own following there pretty good. And so, anyway, the first one happened to me when I was, I think it was down around Fort Worth. This is, back when I was still with Navajo. And I was driving around in a circle, like kind of just driving around. I was lost. I was trying to find this plant. I think it was Coke or Pepsi or something. And I was trying to find this plant, and I couldn't seem to find it. So I'm just kind of driving around. And all of a sudden I look in my mirror and I see this four-wheeler right behind me, and the guy's, flashing his lights and honking his horn and everything, beep, and so I'm like, oh crap, like something must really be wrong. I don't see anything wrong, but something must really be wrong with my truck. I better, stop, see what's going on. So I stopped, I pulled off to the side there, and this guy pulls in behind me, and he comes up to the side of the truck, and I roll down the window. I'm like, yeah, what's going on, man? And he's like, hey, Rooster, man, how you doing? I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I seen you, and I just, I wanted to meet you and say hi and everything, and I was like, okay. So I'm like, wait, so you mean there's nothing wrong with my truck? Oh, no, no. So I started talking to him, and he was a local driver. So I said, hey, I'm trying to find this plant, do you know where it is? And he said, oh, yeah, I know. It's just right up here around the corner. Just follow me. I should take you up there. So he took me up there, and I found it. And it all worked out on that one. So, and it was also, the reason is I had on my truck. Now, I had on my Navajo truck, I had the white door with the big orange letter, said Rooster on the door, and had the the big cartoon orange rooster below it and everything. So, and then I had of course my orange antennas and everything. So it was pretty obvious if you knew anything about me. If you spotted me, it was pretty obvious. So, to most people, but we'll get back to that later. Anyway, another one that happened just outside of Fort Worth is I had this friend of mine, a good friend on MySpace there that followed me and I talked to, and his name was Josh. He was a young kid, about 18, 19 years old, and wanted to be a truck driver in a couple years and stuff, so, they follow the truck drivers and everything. So he lived down there right around just outside of Fort Worth on 287 there somewhere. So one night I was late, it's getting, I think it was dark or just getting dark. It was, I was headed up 287. I think I had, a load of beer or something on, headed back to Denver, and was cruising along, and all of a sudden I I'm cruising along, and I look in my mirror. This car comes up beside me. It's got, you know, a carload of, looks like a carload of teenagers, you know. And it come up beside me, and I look down, and then this kid is like, freaking like in the back seat, and he's all, whoa, you know, waving, acting all crazy, hanging out the window and shit, you know. And then I'm just like, what the hell? And you know, and then they went on down the road, so I'm just like, whatever, it's just, you know, carload of kids goofing off or whatever, you know. So all right. So anyway, so I come and I keep going and going, you know. A few minutes later, I look at my mirror or something. Here comes this car again beside me. And they pull up and they slow down right beside me, you know. And I look down there, and he's like, got this piece of paper pressed up against the window. He's like, "It's Josh from MySpace." And then it dawned on me. I was like, "Oh, okay." So I guess so. I sent him a message and stuff later. And then we ended up, another time I was down there was when I ended up meeting him for the first time, you know, and he did go on to, he went on to become a truck driver, and I don't know, I think he still does, some off and on. I don't know what he's doing now, but he's still a truck driver, basically, but he doesn't live in Texas anymore. So anyway, another one I had, I was in Ohio on 70, and I think there's like a little fuel stop over there, like Love's or Pilot or something. It was one of the small ones on eastern Ohio off of 70. Anyway, I was in there, so I pull up in the fuel island, you know, and I get out and I start, you know, doing my thing, start pumping my fuel. I'm standing there, you know. This guy comes out of the Pilot, walks up to me, like, and this guy's like he's like tattooed all over, like arms and chest and neck and everything. So he's kind of like an intimidating looking guy, you know. And he just takes out his phone, his camera, and he's like, starts snapping pictures, like right in front of me. Never said a word, you know, just snapping away. So I'm kind of like, can I help you or something? You know, do I know you? And he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry man." He's like, I'm so and so, one of your friends on Facebook, you know. And then when he told me his name, I recognized his name. I knew who he was, because he on his Facebook, his picture, all I ever seen was his face. So like the whole tattoo thing, it just kind of threw me off. I didn't, you know, like, it's like I didn't know that he had all that. So, and then so that was kind of creepy for a second, but yeah, it's probably a good idea, like, if you're gonna walk up to somebody, you know, say, like, maybe introduce yourself first and say, "Hey, you know, I'm your friend," and everything before you start taking pictures. But that's cool. Another one that I had was okay, I just got done. I was on one of my runs where I was shooting one of my, like, adventure style videos from the beginning to the end of the pickup to delivery and all that, you know. And so I finished my run in somewhere just outside of Buffalo. I think it was like a Big Lots or something like that, a store. So I parked out behind the store, you know. I got there the night before. I edited my video, and I, you know, did everything and uploaded it to YouTube. And in the video I had shown, you know, where I had finished my run at, you know. Something didn't, you know, think anything of it. So in the morning, somebody comes, this guy comes and is knocking on my door. So I'm figuring, okay, it must be the store, like, they must be ready, you know. So I get up, I'm like, "Hey, how's it going?" And, you know, he's like, "Hey, Rooster, how you doing?" You know. So I'm like, well, okay, but it says Rooster on my door, so I figure, well, he's just, you know, whatever. So I'm waiting for this guy to say, like, you know, "Hey, go ahead and, you know, back up here," and all that. And he just keeps, like, talking like a, just, you know, like a friend or something. He's just talking to me, and I'm like, and then so I suddenly realized, I don't think this guy's from the store, you know. And ended up, you know, he told me, he's like, who he was. He was one of my subscribers and stuff. He's like, "Hey, I seen your, you know, video that you just uploaded, and you were down here, so, He's like, hey, I'm gonna go buy you a breakfast, you know, if you want, take you over to Denny's or wherever you want to go. So, yeah, we went to Denny's and he bought me breakfast and everything. So we talked, you know. So it was cool. Like, he was a nice guy. But I never did that again because I realized that potentially that could be a dangerous situation. Especially from people who took the CB Rambo videos a little too seriously. Like this next guy. So anyway, a little bit for like people who weren't around, you know, 8-9 years ago with me. I had this video series called CB Rambo, and basically what it was all it was like a character. It was a character. It was all as a joke, you know. It was a character that I sort of developed. And I got the idea from, hang on, what the heck is his name? How my mind, the guy that does all the guy that does the, anyway, the guy that did Oklahoma, that did all the prank video call, or prank phone calls to people, talking about he's gonna, you know, I'm gonna pop a knot in you and I'm gonna whoop your ass and, you know, give me $500 and I'm gonna come down there and all, you know, all that crazy stuff. And I had his name, I can't remember now. Oh, Roy D. Mercer. That's it. So it was kind of like Roy D. Mercer on the CB is what it was, you know. So if you heard, I had you know, videos like all kinds of videos from CB Rambo, like CB Rambo Return of the Pickle Park Commando, and, you know, just if you've seen it, like, you could tell that it was obviously a joke. And if you know, most people knew. Even some of the people that I was interacting with knew that it was a joke, so they just played along. And then there were people who didn't know it was a joke, and those were the best ones. Those were the funniest ones because they didn't know it was a joke. Anyway, so with that, I'm at a grocery warehouse in somewhere down south, I think Alabama, Georgia, whatever, down south. And it's me and another Navajo driver. We're docked side by side, and then there was a couple other guys, and we were all standing in the office, you know. So this guy walks in and he's like, "Hey, you guys drive for Navajo?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah." The guy's like, "Yeah," you know. And he's like, "You guys know Rooster?" I said, "Okay." So first of all, like I said, my truck has a friggin' rooster on the door. You know, big cartoon rooster, big letters says Rooster and everything, you know. And like, I'm standing like right in front of the guy, and, you know, so the other guy, he's like an old guy. And he's like, "No, I don't know who that is," you know. So I'm thinking, well, obviously this guy doesn't recognize me. He knows who I am, but he doesn't recognize me, so I'm just gonna, you know, play dumb and see where it goes. And he's like, so I'm like, "No, I don't know Rooster, man. Never heard of him. Who's that?" You know? And he's just, and I found out this guy was not a fan of the Rooster, because as soon as I told him that I didn't know Rooster, he's like, "That guy is an asshole. If I see that guy, I'm gonna whoop his ass. He is an asshole. He says always on there, man, always on YouTube, on the CB, talking about how he's gonna whoop everybody's ass, man. He's a little punk." He's like, he's gonna get his ass whooped, and you know, he's going on and on about what an asshole I was. And then he referenced one of my videos. He was like, yeah, this one time this guy did beat his ass, man. I seen it, you know. He was all bloody and everything. He's talking crap on the radio. He got his ass beat. And I was like, alright, so hold up. And now the video that he was referenced to was called, it was one where it's called like CB Rambo somebody finally caught CB Rambo. What it was is I was in Denver at the yard, and I was hanging out with my friend Mike out there in Denver, and he had a CB in his car, you know. So I'm like, hey, let's do this video, man. Like, I'll be, you know, talking, doing my, you know, CB Rambo thing on the radio and everything, like a tough guy, and then you'll be like another driver or something here at the yard, and you know, and then you'll be like, oh, I finally found you, you son of a bitch, you know, and everything. So we did, you know, we had our little exchange on the radio, and then he's like, I finally found you and all that. He's like, I got you now, and he comes over and he drags me out of the truck, man, and I'm like, you know, because obviously, you know, CB Rambo can't really fight. He's just a punk, you know. So I'm on the ground, and he's like stomping on me, and, you know, punching and everything, and then so I take and then if you watch the video, like, he's trying hard not to laugh while he's stomping my face, and he's like, you know, trying not to laugh. I mean, you could tell, and it was obvious. And anyway, and then I took like ketchup, you know, I took like a handful of ketchup and rubbed it all over my face, man. It looked like I really got, you know, messed up, and I'm like, man, I'm never talking crap on the radio again, you know, all that. So that's the video that he was referencing, and so then I'm like, after he got done going on about what an asshole I am, I'm like, dude, I was like, you do realize that's me, right? He's like, and he's just like, stop. He's like, what? Huh? I was like, yeah, I'm Rooster. Well, you said you don't know him. I was like, I know, because obviously you didn't recognize me, so I just wanted to see where this was going to go. And I'm just laughing because obviously this guy just is somebody who takes this CB Rambo thing way too seriously. And I'm like, first of all, I was like, dude, do you think if somebody was kicking my ass, I'm going to sit there with a camera and record it and then upload it to YouTube while they're stomping my face in? I was like, dude, it's a joke. So I explained to him like I did to you. I was like, you know, man, that's not me. I was like, I'm not doing that just to be an ass. I'm like, it's just a character, dude. It's a joke. Just messing with people, you know. And I was like, I know there's like real CB Rambos out there, so that's kind of like the whole point. It's just this thing. And so anyway, after I explained to him that I was not really an asshole just running around talking crap to people, trying to start fights and everything, he was pretty cool. Like, you know, I think he got it. So it was funny. Let me think. So I guess that's probably about it. I guess I should went on long enough here. I mean, so yeah, so there's just a couple of the craziest meetups that I've had with people. So, alright, y'all take care.